Don't worry, I got 11 and Thanatos here to keep me company. Where are we jumping to? Yeah, the father figure for everyone, true. Although you should see him in this game. Oof. He gets kind of like it's the panty game. Listen, actually the panty is still in evidence, isn't it? It sure is. Can I give that to you right now? Oh, yeah, I looked at the last time. His panty obsession. Okay. I've never had a magic potion. What is it? What do they taste like? But you're the EP. I mean, it is like what, 1 in the morning for you? Well, the kinds of potions you find in more ordinary books are not unlike medicine. They taste rather bland. How much medicine do you have that's bland? Is he patchy in a maid uniform? One can dream. I feel like most medicine is not very bland. Add something to them and you won't even notice. Add them to something you won't even notice. Really? These forbidden potions taste awful. Mixing them with anything will ruin their effect. Remembering that taste is making me feel ill now. Why have you had them? Fighting this garbage, yeah. These magicians have it tough too. That is why I do research of my own. I'm making delicious forbidden potions. What? Sounds like a kind of a bad idea. But the culprit used a potion to turn into the fake Alice. That would have been one of those forbidden potions. You're correct. Like other magic considered unsavory, forbidden potions fall under the umbrella of black magic. The term black magic gets thrown around a lot, but magicians usually refer to magic that invariably infringes on another's rights. Do people have rights in Gensokyo? I'm pretty sure, do rights even exist in there? I thought it was like, if you're in the human village, you're okay. If you're everywhere else, it's every man for every woman for herself. Black magic. All kinds of black magic. Highest form can involve contracts with demons. Actually, could probably tell you more about it. She even has her own familiar. Wow, I wonder where that's coming from. Don't kill each other, don't eat humans. In the human village. Maybe magicians may right for magicians, yeah. For Raven to slay you on sight. Yeah. Well, not in this game, because whoever made this game hates Reimu. Dude, whoever made this game hates Reimu. It might only be my own impression, but I can imagine I can imagine her downing forbidden potions without flinching. Man, this is weird. Like, a lot of the patchy comments are coming out right now. Somehow I can imagine it too. Oh, I wonder what that could allude to. That was certainty that this was what caused my transformation into a child. The Marissa becoming yokai and the Rima has to cut her down. Listen, I don't blame Reimu for being grumpy, okay? 90% of Touhou incidents are just people leaving behind the sub. Hey, you take care of it, Reimu. The question is, who put it there? The doorknob to Marissa's house. You think the trap would be meant for Marissa herself. If you sat there yourself, obviously you wouldn't be the one caught by it. Is there a potential that Patchy tried to do this to Marissa and accidentally got Alice with it? Because she was after the, could she have known, would Patchy have known that Alice had the book in the first place? Or did it only conveniently end up that way? True, it's the fact that Marissa wasn't the one who fell into the trap. Honestly, barging into people's homes as she pleases. Does Marissa often barge into your home? Oh yes, she always takes people's books like it's nothing. Then, that makes her a repeat offender. What are we going to do about that? But she'll just brazenly do it in front of you. Well, this time, Almost exactly the same as what you've done before. There still has to be some kind of hidden secret to this case. Or it could possibly mean. Couldn't possibly be patchy. Okay, where are we going? Go talk to Miss Shalissa. Good morning. What do you want? You're to gloat. Unfortunately, I don't have that much free time. If it were up to me, right now I'd be writing my article about yesterday's trial. So what are you doing here? I've made up my mind. I'm going to be defending you in court. At Alice's request. Alice? I thought it simply did not fit. Why'd you follow me here? That calling card is not something you'd write. Duh, if I was going to take something, I'd just take it. At any rate, please leave everything to me. It ain't that simple, you know. First, I have to... This is such an interesting mix. First, I have to apologize about yesterday. First, has any right to be mad. Aya, what are you talking about? It's not like Aya went delusionally into... I mean, I guess it's not that delusionally to think that Marissa did it. I thought Marissa did it for a while. Until, before the trial, I figured that out, but... First game too? I think so, but it's not a Phoebe here much. I have to apologize about yesterday. Yeah, it was bound to happen. I messed up and everything blew up in my face. Blew up? Hey, Alice. Are you mad? I am mad. Do you know what to be mad about already? What, have you done something that makes Alice angry? There's one thing you got right yesterday, about the potion I was making. Oh, I remember. So it was a potion that turned you into someone else? I was really gonna turn myself into Alice. I really was. Huh? You fiend! Just what kind of awful things are you planning to do with my body? It ain't like that. Don't make it sound weird. Yo, this toxic Yuri's going off again. Why on earth would you want to turn yourself into Alice? Well, there's this book I want to borrow from Patchy. It feels like she's always on the lookout for me lately, so I can't just sneak into her library. I thought Alice would have an easier time of it. You. Marissa. Tell me all you can about this plan of yours. Well, I'm already in this deep. Alright, I'll tell you everything. I closed down the shop to focus on putting together what I need. Who would have thought it would turn out like this? What have you been doing the last few days? It was gonna be Alice, so I got myself some of her perfume. It'd be even more convincing if I smelled like her, right? Right, that's true. Then I'd need Alice's hair to finish the potion. That day I called Alice over, thanking her for the perfume was a great pretext. Well, I never suspected anything. I really should have known better. But that was where you messed up, wasn't it? Yeah, I never imagined Alice would want to borrow that book. So, you took a book about potions, but there's a different book that you want to get? As well? I want to stay on her good side, and if I thought about it too long, she might get suspicious. I'd already made all the preparations for the potion, so I got careless and let her take it. I looked for my recipe later and couldn't find it. And I remembered I'd left my notes in the book, with my checklist of everything I need to do, and Alice's hair. Genius. You tried to get Alice to give back right away. If she saw those notes, she'd definitely figure it out, and then she'd get angry. Oh, I've already transcended anger. Only amazement remains. Wait, something doesn't make sense. Alice, oh, damn, the key spray went away. Alice, you're gonna return the book, right? So when Marissa showed up and demanded it back, why didn't you give it to her right then and there? Ah, yes. I might not have explained this properly. Actually, I did not go straight home after leaving Marissa. Where'd you go? To visit Yuyuko. Receive some of her ghost flower thread. Oh, this again. But I couldn't meet with Alice that day. But I left a message telling her to give me back the book in her house, then went back. In the end, I didn't make it home until well into the night. That's when I found Marissa's message, and I assumed she would be asleep at this hour. So I went to return the book the next morning. I see. Hold on a moment. Said you put checklists and Alice's hair into the book. Kept between the pages was the recipe? Yeah, what about it? We inspected it yesterday. We only found your notes on the recipe. So, assuming that's what I think is, so Patchy took the book at some point, and then took that out of there so she could do the potion herself, and then re-put the book back in Marissa's house in order to frame her. What I'm interested in is did she like try to go after Marissa right away and Alice was just like happened to be there and she happened to like change plans with that, or was she planning to go after Alice from the start with this? We found the book in Marissa's house, didn't we? Whoa, what the hell? That ain't right at all. Because back then, I turned the whole place over looking for this thing. I would have missed it like some kind of idiot. If you were an idiot, you wouldn't have let me take this book to begin with. Patchy did. Listen, I'm like 99.99% sure Patchy did, okay? It's up to this game to make me think otherwise. She turned to a fairy maid. I mean... It's not necessarily confirmed that she, like, turned into a fairy maid. It's very possible that she was just wearing the fairy clothes, the maid clothes at some point, and, like, and just used that as a fine enough disguise, quote-unquote. Maybe she did, but it's hard to say for sure. I'll be Tenchi using some celestial treasures. Yeah. It's because you asked for it so suddenly. Yes, you're so focused on stealing my looks. I'm sorry about that, okay? I can believe Marissa's reaction. She must not have known the book was there. She might be acting, but I don't think she's that good. I think you suck at lying, Marissa. It still looks like this book holds many mysteries. By the way, you came up with this whole plan just so you could borrow a book from Patchy? That's about it. Why are you asking? You said she was on the lookout for you, but what does that mean exactly? Oh well. Back when those trials of yours started, Patchy came over to my house once. Did stuff about going through legal procedures, and then she took all the books I'd borrowed from her. I borrowed a few things from her again since then, but lately, whenever I see her, Patchy won't say anything to me. She won't say anything. She's this quiet, I mean, she's really angry, so I knew right then she was up to something. And I thought maybe if Alice went to borrow a book, Patchy would tell her what was going on. If you return what you borrowed in the first place, Patchy might not stay angry with you, you know. You can have it back when I'm dead, so it's fine. What a terribly thoughtless, human-like excuse. I mean, it's gotta be. Ah, my leg. Right, so right now you're being accused of committing that robbery and framing Alice for it. Yeah, that's how it is. How do you feel about that? What? With the way things are, there's no way people wouldn't suspect me. To be fair, I might not have bought it at all if it wasn't for Thanatos, like, even jokingly mentioning about the idea that Patchy was the culprit. It made me look into it more. I wanted to focus on you framing Alice specifically. Ask you for something, Alice? You think I'd do something like that? I don't know. But I thought I could. I thought I couldn't blame you if you had, because I'd done the same to you before. Don't give me that crap. You really think I'm that petty? Yeah. Kinda stings to hear. Marissa, I promise you one thing. Even if I'd done this, even if I had to pin it on someone, it'd never be Alice. No matter what. Toxic Yuri confirmed. Stop trying to make yourself look good. It's sad to watch. My bad. I'm just kind of clueless by nature. Baka. Baka. Oh my gosh, the Toxic Yuri is everywhere, dude. Dude, I can't imagine Marissa actually letting someone else take the blame for something she'd done. But you should never say never. I think we understand Marissa's actions now. We still haven't found any clues. Maybe she can tell us some things about the evidence for the time being. So, actually, this is one of Patchoul's books. Is that so? Sononoka! Why she wants Byakuren's book? She doesn't want Byakuren's book. I don't believe that. I believe Byakuren being involved in this is purely just circumstantial. I believe she wanted to use Byakuren's book because, like, why would she take Byakuren's book just to give it back immediately, right? I believe this is done one-sidedly against Marissa because she took Byakuren's book and then it ended up in Alice's house anyway, right? Like, so she got the book back. Like, the book's in evidence right now. Why would... If she wanted Byakuren's book and then frame Alice or Marissa, why would she, like, take the book and then give it back? I think this is more if she wanted something back from Marissa, or she wants something of Marissa, or she's just doing this to spite Marissa. If I lost a book I borrowed from her, then she'd have every right to get mad. I think Patrick deserves everything you borrow lost already. Sorry, this is kind of the kind of book I'm interested in. Well, I can't say I wasn't interested in Byakuren's grimoire. There's no magic item that won't draw your interest. Ain't that the truth? Nothing to be proud of. Did you make this, Marissa? Even if I had, do you think I'd just go, yeah, it was me? No, I just wondered. Well, I doubt Marissa could ever put together such a neat piece of craftsmanship. That ain't very nice. I might not look it, but I'm pretty good with my hands. What do you mean by that? Not nearly as good as you, Alice, but still, what do you mean by that? Where did that come from? Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. Hey, I'm just telling it how it is. Make all those beautiful dolls, and you can move so many of them by yourself. I'm a bit jealous. You're wasting your breath. Whatever's you want, you're not getting it. That's your beet red. Oh. Whoa! Dude, the shippers are going wild right now. Picture of the big hole. Oh. Yeah, that ain't subtle at all. Does look like your handiwork. Guess so, but it wasn't me this time. Is there a way you can prove that? That'd be nice, but nope. How are we supposed to do it? Wish I knew. Ah, what are you? That's with panties. Why are you carrying that around? Wait, why can't you tell they're mine at a glance? Well, I went to the hot spring the other day, and I just happened to see them in the changing room. They were more plain than I expected. What's wrong with plain? I just thought you'd wear cuter panties for some reason. Like ones with cat pictures on them or something. What is going on, bro? What the fuck is going on? What are you talking about? Look, I understand Marissa. It scares me. But speaking for myself, I don't ever wear paint. What? Huh? What? You don't? What? Yeah, it just feels too weird. They're so tiny. What? Let's stick to my bloom. Oh, okay. I see. But is that really something you should talk about so openly? I mean, that's more evidence, I guess, that that wasn't the, that Marissa wasn't Alice. That Marissa wasn't pretending to be Alice because panties, right? Marissa, about this. Whoa, Alice, you'd look great in that, don't you think? Oh my goodness. I know, right? Finally, someone understands. Oh, so you think so too? You gotta try this on sometime, Alice. It'd suit you perfectly. It wouldn't. There's no reason for you to wear this anyway. I just thought it'd be nice if Alice as my maid. That will never happen. Why would I even want to be your maid? Well, we could make it one of those reciprocal things. Like, when you get tired of it, we could swap places, and then I'll be your maid. I'll take care of all of your needs, master. What the... The Yuri in this game, there was zero shipping for the first 2.5 of these games. What is going on? Like, it just went, like, 0 to 100 all of a sudden. No, thank you. I fear I would find my house missing some books afterwards. Damn it, she saw through my clever ruse. It just went from, like, 0 to 100. Marissa, about these spores. You were right. Anyone but me would have a real hard time getting these. Even Alice or Patchouli? Seems Trace Caps grow in the Force of Magic, but I could never find any. Marissa knows exactly where to get them, but she won't tell anyone her secrets. Well, obviously, that'd be a huge waste. Because you're so self-centered that you're in this situation now. There's nowhere someone else could get these spores except your shop. I don't think so. Or Alice or Patchouli can't do it. Seaside Magic Shop's been closed for a while, so no one could have been able to buy them. If they bought them long in advance. They don't sell a lot of Trader Cap spores. There ain't much demand for them. Words. Remember every time someone bought them. I'm sure Kogaso was the last one to buy any. She doesn't have anything to do with this case. It's getting worse and worse. Does the same thing for both of them. Though this isn't yours, Marissa. Nope, I never made this. The real culprit must have placed this on Marissa's door. She saw the Kogasa. No, because Kogasa got those spores during the first game, right? Because that was the last trial of the first game. I know she has. I think what they're implying is it's completely other one. The only possible explanation. There's no proof of that at all. It's gonna make things difficult. I think this is all we'll be getting out of Marissa. Let's get investigating again now. Get going. I'm counting on you. Wait, I want to show the picture. But I hand it to you. That was a great shot. What do you think you were doing, breaking my house like that? I was on a top secret mission. And that gives you leave to invade my privacy? Now. Anyway, this time you broke in to look for the book you lent to Alice. Yeah, turning it into Alice ended up being more trouble than it was worth. It was an awful idea to begin with. Be sure I have to side with Alice on this one. Good morning. And good morning to you too, Aya. Seems the incident has come to a close. No, I wouldn't say it's closed just yet. Huh? You think so? I was told the police had arrested the true culprit. They thought as much the last time too, so I'll look over everything again to be sure. If you feel you must, I do not mind. I love this theme. I have such a soft spot for it. This theme is unironically one of the reasons I want to go and play UFO next, because I really like this stage. Alice, I must congratulate you on being proven innocent. Thank you very much. I heard that you'd been arrested. I was terribly distraught. But I always believed in you, Alice. Sorry, it seems I caused you worry as well. Don't say that. You are innocent, so you have nothing to apologize for. That is true. I fear I might not have treated Patchouli well at all. I doubted her in her investigation from the beginning. Gyakuten is seen beneath the lies of the Jedi. I feel like we've been through this before. She really is too nice. But as long as the grimoire is recovered, I have no need of holding a grudge against the culprit. So please forgive them. I'm sure they have a proper reason. I need you to not talk like this. You're so kind, Miss Gyakuten. I think I'd be at least a bit angry if something precious was stolen from me. Dude, Patchouli stole the precious thing. Nothing good ever comes out of lashing out in anger. I still shiver at the thought. Be thinking about the past again. In any case, the whole temple is at your disposal. Well, thank you very much. Yes, that's right. Going other others. I have shown you them before. Seems to be a book on forbidden potions. Yes, you're right. I never had much love for these potions. The taste is unbearable. Books on how you make them still get written. That is true. I suppose there's a demand for them nevertheless. The taste aside, you cannot argue with the results. That is only if you manage to keep them down. Yes, that's always the question. How bad could it be? I'm curious now. What kind of magic medium typically used as a trap? I've dealt with these many times. You've used them before, Gyakuten? No, I have not used them myself. Well, they don't have much use aside from being made into traps. I can't imagine Miss Gyakuten trying to trap someone. But perhaps, to ensure the grimoire is not stolen again, I should prepare a little something after all. Somehow, I get the impression that if she got seriously angry, she'd be terrifying. I know nothing about this, I'm afraid. No, you're boring. Trader's cap. I've heard tales of it. Is it that famous? It is. Alice and Patchouli have also told me about it. It's quite a dangerous mushroom, after all. But in spite of this, it's extremely valuable. However, I've never seen the real thing myself. I've only seen a whole trader's cap once. It's hard to find, even for a magician. I mean, if someone was able to break into her house to put, like, a book bag in there, surely they could break into, like, you know, mushrooms. I know nothing about you. I don't want to see Patchy's face. Ah, Nazrin, you're here. Hey, it's you guys. Heard you caught the real thief. How do we put this? That's still in doubt. What doubt? Can you tell us about the Alice you saw again? Sure, I don't mind. Wait. Is that how it's spelled? Isn't imposter with an E? Or am I stupid? I guess you can spell it either way. Yeah, literally you can spell it either way. So I gotta apologize to you. Because of me that you were suspected. Oh, don't worry about that. It could be helped. But about the fake Alice you saw back then, did she really look exactly like the real thing? Yep, but it was that Marisa Kirasami disguise, right? In any case, it wasn't me. The one I saw was the real thief for sure. It means this is an important lead. Is there anything else you remember? I mean, I don't think I remember anything helpful. There wasn't anything strange about her clothes. Aside from her panties. Can't just stop talking about panties, can you? No, it's because those panties were the culprit's only mistake. I say that, but it's just Alice wearing black panties. I wish I did not have to tell you this, but it seems I must. I do not own any black underwear. Oh, really? Why? What do you mean, why? I just don't have any. Perhaps dark panties bring back memories of traumatic bedwetting incident. What? What? Why would you even think that? Leave aside Alice wetting the bed, do those panties really matter that much? I'm telling you, that's nothing to do with it. Almost a certainty the black panties are the culprit's own underwear. It's no exaggeration to say they are sole lead on their identity. It's not really much, is it? Even Her Holiness has black panties nowadays. Whoa. Why would you know this information, or volunteer it so readily? You said they were striking black panties, didn't you? Yeah, they had a pretty unique design. And now every detail's burned in my mind's eye thanks to you. I could even draw you a picture! Uh-oh. Wait, could you actually do that right now? If you insist. Here, is that good enough? It's perfect, thank you very much. And the court record as evidence. Case about panties. Why has there never been anything lewd the entire time, and now we got toxic Yuri and panties? Now why don't you have any black panties, Alice? We're going back to this? So is it really because of the bedwetting? Oh, I give up. Okay, I gotta get some more. I'll be back in a second. First game we got small, we got Chino panties. Yeah, but like they're kind of blocked off. Graphic panty memory enhancement. She can find anything she wants, even panties. Wait. If she can find anything, can't she find the panties we're looking for? And figure out who has them? Doesn't look like this is something you'd lose easily. It's the first time Her Holiness had made a grimoire. I think she's kind of attached to it. Something this had to happen. I understand how she must feel. I have a great deal of attachment to the first doll I ever made. Right, I remember the first issue I published to this day. Is that how it is? I'm sure you'll understand once you pour all your heart into something. Scrap paper started everything. I don't like even looking at it. After she read this, Gyakuten called the police? Yeah, but I still think that was a mistake. We should have taken care of this ourselves without relying on them. After you failed to catch the thief, didn't you go to the police yourself? There was nothing else I could do. And you still blame Patchouli? I already know, okay? It's not right of me. They did everything they could. They did all they could to protect the temple, but it just didn't pay off. When I had the chance to get the book back, I blew it too. I just didn't want to face that. Yeah, sure. I'm the coward who's just running away. Well, Patchoul's been chasing after the thief all this time. Yeah, dude, this game is just built. Oh my gosh, dude. I guess the one I really blame is me. As you don't have to be so hard on yourself. There's been many times I've felt much like you must. I've learned that what truly matters is what you'll do from now on. There's nothing you can do to change your past self. You can only make your future self a better person. All you can do is face the future with everything. Why are we getting philosophical? Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Alice. I feel a lot better now. I'm glad. You look best when you smile. Oh, it feels like we drifted a story that's not our own. I guess it's fine. What a pain. As if sealing the grimoire wasn't enough, they had to blow a hole in the wall on top of it. Had all kinds of troubles lately, haven't you? You have no idea. But even after everything they've done, Her Holiness still says we should forgive the thief. This Gyakuten is so kind. He's so kind, it's gonna become a problem. They'll just make what make criminals think they can do whatever they want. You're right, we can't have that. I just wish he'd be a little more strict sometimes. Alice's panties. Wait! Stop showing these to everyone! Well, now inside your panties Sakura already, so it doesn't really matter if she sees them again now. That's not the problem! This is important because Nazra is the only one who saw the culprit's panties. It's not like I was trying to see them. It was just an accident. You're making them upset. I'm doing this to establish which panties were seen by and by who. This is important. I still think you'd be more considerate. First panties, now maid clothes? Please don't make it sound like I'm a fetish. If you don't want people to get the wrong idea, then stop showing them weird stuff. No, this is all evidence. I don't believe it. This case about Her Holiness's grimoire being stolen from this temple, and that's it. So why do you keep bringing up stuff like panties and weird clothes? But panties and maid clothes were really were involved in this incident. I don't believe it. It was so important I said it twice. I'm just trying to do my job. I got nothing to say about this. You rat. Wait. Suck, right? Don't make me talk about panties anymore. Please just confirm with me one last time. Apparently these panties was definitely like this. We done now? Yes, thank you for your help. Sheesh. Why'd I have to get wrapped up in something like this? Pleasure talking with you, Nazrin. Don't be patchy, 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 don't be patchy! Anyone but patchy! As bad as before. Well, they have to preserve the crime scene. But come to think of it, we actually make sure the scene gets preserved. There's no one here. Well, to begin with, if there's been an incident, victims shouldn't be the one to do that. But there's no way it'd be up to the fence to do it, right? It really is just like it. The hole in the wall I made last year. I don't think it's just a coinky dink. Doesn't seem likely, does it? Maybe she did plan to frame Alice from the start. So in the end, who fixed the hole in the wall at Ian Pick? Must have been the culprit, at the very least. They'd be the ones to pay for it. Oh, is that how it was? Does nothing more relevant come to mind? You have time to test your people, look for clues yourself. I don't need you to tell me that. I'll start looking. Momentarily. Without you bothering me, I can start looking. Momentarily. Could this be why we never seem to find anything? It would certainly explain a lot. That was the time for a comedy act. Take a closer look. Isn't there something buried in the rubble? You're right, it's like a scrap of cloth. Smells burnt. Burnt cloth. Could this actually be? Alice, is this what I think it is? It is. This is the igniting cloth. Definitely the fabric I held in my hands then. Exactly the same. Even the igniting cloth was used in this crime too. Wait a minute. Renosuke was the one who made that igniting cloth, right? He can't keep getting away with it! But I heard that after that incident, He stopped making any because it was too dangerous. There's no way anyone got any more, right? No, there is one way someone could still get their hands on this. It's always him. How would you do it? Remember how the trial ended back then, don't you? The final proof of my guilt was that igniting cloth. Renosuke originally intended that igniting cloth to be used as a fire starter, didn't he? But it turned out to be far too strong. Even with less than 1 square foot, you can make a powerful explosion. Back then, Renosuke told us 2 of the pieces he'd made would have been enough to blow a hole in a wall. At the time, he'd been testing the cloth near the lake, and 5 pieces were blown away in the wind. Of these 5, I found 4. I found the last piece at the lake, damp from staying outside several days. I used 2 pieces to blast the hole in Niante's wall, and made 2 were evidence and dangerous besides. So I wanted to dispose of them somehow. But I couldn't think of a safe way to get rid of them, so I tried to hide them by making them into a doll. Things would have been much easier had I known being soaked would have made them harmless. What happened to the doll after that? The police confiscated it, and I went... She can't keep getting away with it! If we want to know the end of the story, we'll have to ask the police. Who have access to that? I'd like to have a notebook of my own one day too. Look how happy she was. If I should see this stuff again. How did I even get there? What we can do for now is look into it. You show me that. What am I supposed to say? I guess that's to be expected. Probably best not to show this off. Oh, you said this before. I'd be surprised if you did know about magic potions. Then don't show me that. It's just in case, you know. Okay, let me talk to you. Prosecutor for the Marissa case in Iowa 1? I'm gonna assume it was Patchy. Because I'm pretty sure in that game, Remy was Trial 1 and 4, and Patchy was 2 and 3. And Trial 1 was the Chirano, Notori, and Trial 4 was the Tenchi one. Tenchi Gogasa. And the other 2 were Alice Patchy and, I remember the other one, Tom Man. Wait, who do you think is the culprit? Oh, well, if go by process of elimination, it feels like there's only one person it could be. And what do you think, Alice? Because as Momiji says, the real question is, how do we prove it? Because deny. Oh, yeah. I want to blot that out of my memory. It's gonna be tough, huh? Right. Even if it is her, I don't understand why she'd do this. The answer must be waiting for us somewhere. This incident could have happened for no reason. Let's all work our hardest, Aya. What we can do is try to learn everything we can with the case and about her. I wonder who this her they're referring to is. Could be anyone. Female Renosuke. Knock. Knock. We're about to see the problems. Every time magicians can soak you. How many do we have? Let me pop up the TW list and see what's listed in there. The human? Yeah, but she's basically a magician. Narumi? Yeah, Narumi's a magician. Yeah, but no one remembers Narumi. Oh my, what brings you here? Ada. I'm sorry. Ada. Shit, no, that's not what I want to do. Frick. Who in this is labeled as a magician? Narumi, Mai from Makai, and Yuki, they have labeled as magicians. Actually, Flan, Rikako, Ellen, Alice, Marissa, and Mima is what this has listed. I mean, this is not canon, of course, necessarily, but interesting list. Fun, yeah, I'm going by the TW list. Just started Touhou 21 now, delayed for mood missions. Yeah, what a shame. Yeah, but just go by this list. It says Mima, Marissa, Alice, Ellen, Rikako, Flan, Patchouli, Byakuya, and Yuki, Mai, and Narumi. I believe the Yuki and Mai one. Definitely. I don't know if I believe Rikako, but Ellen as well. I think I believe them, for sure. What brings you here? Why Flan? I don't know! I mean, people could be multiple things. There are a few things I want to ask Patchouli. Unfortunately, Miss Patchouli isn't available. She's taking part in a strategy meeting now. Oh, wow! Strategy meeting? Even though she barely got any rest last night, she took Lady Amelia into another room some time ago. More toxic Yuri, huh? For that, she was looking over this evidence. And now I am putting these in order at Miss Patchouli's request. By that do you mean this amount of books Patchouli has gathered? Yes. She said most of it will not be necessary. Yokai, yeah. Yeah, the term yokai in Gensokyo is kind of a meaningless thing at some time. Maybe we can have a look as well. You can do as you like. It seems nothing here will be needed in court. That was more painless than I expected. Make the most of this rare opportunity, then. Oh! New music! Ooh! Jazzy! Damn, we're bopping! I really like she's there. Ooh! A bangin'! Saki, you do recognize this? Is this... No, it can't be! The igniting cloth used in the incident 1 year ago. There's no doubt about it. It does seem quite similar to the igniting cloth. But what of it? Pat? Dude, this theme is banging though. Holy moly, this theme is phenomenal. So, Patchy and Ramelia probably know that Patchy is the one behind this, but Sakia appears to not know. I have to persuade Saki somehow. Our case and the jar lobby are linked. That's not something I can discuss. What was that? Doesn't usually hesitate to shoot me down. Maybe Saki has seen these panties before. Wait, why are you looking at Patchy's panties? Yes, this is certainly Miss Margatroyd's underwear. Why do you show these to everyone? I need to learn all I can about the evidence. Why do you need to learn more about my panties? They could be a vital clue again. There's no need for either of you to be alarmed. After all, I am not at liberty to share information about the evidence. Like I thought. Why'd you show them to her in the first place? I love this game. Remember uniforms, and you found Alice's perfume in one of the pockets? This is correct. Well, it might be incorrect to suggest I found it. It was Miss Patchouli. You can't keep getting away with it. I hope Rainwood's denial show up to show I so I can show the panties, yeah. Oh, really? I first heard about it in court, just like you. This was evidence only Patchy knew about. Only Patchouli knew, huh? Teacup's cold. Did it get forgotten already about? This is tea I served to Lady Romelia. She must be quite busy. She left for the strategy meeting without even touching it. Oh, Nanoka. Smells a bit of lemon. Was it lemon tea? Oh no, not again! Lemon tea? Ah, yes. I was told to serve lemon tea today. But then, what happened to the lemon? Oh, that's a good point. Could a lemon be related to the case again? No, I gave the lemon to Lady Flan. Huh? The Flanner? Yes, the other day she was killing time reading our trial records. When she read about the lemon battery, she told me she was to try it as well. They gave her the lemon from Amelia's cup? Yes, she must be in a room playing with the light ball I obtained from Miss Kawashiro right now. Amelia, I know it's none of my business, but I think you should play with your little sister more often. You get to... This theme is so good! Why are books just piled on the floor? There's so many of them, too. Your one case too? Yeah. I doubt it, but you never know. Oh, this is evidence we found when we investigated the Kirisami magic shop. This is all evidence? Miss Patchouli carried out a search of the defendant's home earlier today. She had all of this seized then. These all look like grimoires. They're Miss Patchouli's property to begin with. She intends to use this as proof of a motive. Was that really the only reason she confiscated all these books? These items added to the court record as evidence. She won't miss a few. It's confiscated for the police home's collection. Yeah. Yeah. This book looks familiar. Isn't this the poetry Miss Patchouli was working on back then? Oh, right. Patchouli's been trying her hand at poetry. Let's have a look. Yeah, please read this one. And make sure you do it with feeling. The title is Friendship. Oh, boring theme. It is sometimes more crimson than the red of blood, sometimes more indigo than the blue of the sea. A friendship of sharing burning scarlet anger. A friendship of sharing sorrow deeper than the ocean. Merely sharing the good times is not true friendship. Sometimes suffering together and hurting each other is what proves a friendship truly strong. It is sometimes more rosy than the red of sunset, sometimes more azure than the clear blue sky. If I stray, you will surely turn your venom on me. If such is my fate, I will gladly accept it. Did Miss Patchouli really write this? This is certainly poetry. It's a bit worrying. This feels pretty sad. Miss Patchouli considers this her finest work. She began writing poetry a year ago.
After finishing this one, she rewrote it again and again. It seems she is finally satisfied with it. Is that how it was? Even so, she never showed it to Lady Remelia. Must have made my lady curious. I saw her reading this in secret while Miss Patchouli was away. Patchy X Marissa, Patchy X Alex. I was reading that as if a Patchy X Remy ship. Lady Remy seemed quite gloomy afterwards, with something about it not to her liking. By the way, when was this poem finished? Some time ago. I believe it was just before Momiji's disappearance. Momiji disappeared. For some reason, I have a bad feeling. What is going on? I guess it's Patchouli's library. There's boom boom hard issues in here. This is the research material gathered by Miss Patchouli. Seems she's been inspecting all the data she can find about the past incidents in order to defeat you. Wouldn't it feel a bit awkward to read the newspaper written by the opposing lawyer? Not at all. You write these articles by drawing on your experiences, so your personal thoughts will inevitably bleed in. Miss Patchouli uses these to study the way you think in court. Yeah, it sure hasn't helped her at all. Yeah, it feels like you've been digging your own grave, Aya. Ugh. Miss Patchouli reads your paper. Aren't you glad? Ah, well. Anyway, these appear to be about the first few trials. Looks like it. Miski's property damage case, Suika's coma case, Miss Aaron's purse snatching case, and the theft of Notorious optical camouflage suit. There's nothing on the Iente jar robbery. You're right. The maid she was missing. This is odd. These should all be arranged in order. Aya, when did you publish that issue? See, it was the day after the trial had ended, so it would have been published May 3rd. May 3rd? That's today. What a coinky-dink. Oh, right. It'll all be really just a coinky-dink. To be honest, I wonder if Miss Patchouli will be fine. No reason she wouldn't be. About this case, Miss Patchouli's been working harder than ever before. Had to use that issue to make the calling card? It's possible. She spent the days investigating it out in the field, and the nights researching in this library. We've had alternating shifts of maids stay with her, providing whatever assistance she might need. She's been poring over things until she exhausts herself, and she hasn't been getting any proper rest. That's how it is. And as soon as she woke up this morning, she went to speak with you, Miss Margitroid. Oh yes, so she did. I'm really concerned that this trial's gonna end in like a way where with no punishment, because that's how these games love to do it. They like to blue ball you. What was that about? She wanted to congratulate me on being acquitted and wanted to apologize for the mistaken arrest. I can only tell her that she didn't have to. Patchouli has a weak constitution, so I cannot help but worry. But she seemed well enough when we spoke. Anyway, it looks like Patchouli's been pretty busy ever since this incident occurred. Sakia, don't you think there's a connection between this incident and the robbery at Iente last year? At the very least, I doubt that they are unrelated. So, if you agree, would you let me see your archives about that case? Our archives? If these two incidents are connected, I want to review the evidence. I cannot allow that! Even if I personally think these two cases are related, there's no proof that they are. Well, what about the igniting cloth we found at the temple? But, even so... It's obvious that there's a connection between the Iente jar robbery and the theft of the grimoire. If you continue to deny us access to your records in the face of this, you'll be concealing evidence. I understand, but I will not be able to show you everything we archived back then. Huh? Why not? Because some of the evidence has disappeared. What? How does evidence just disappear? I had a bad feeling about this case from the beginning, so after the crime, I headed to our evidence room to review the Iente jar robbery. When I looked through that case's storage locker, I realized something was missing.
Hold on a minute. What's the evidence room? In the outside world, it happens that cases are retried, and so evidence has to be kept for some time. Once an incident is resolved, we return private property that ended up being evidence to the owners. Evidence crucial to the case that has no real owner, or that is proven too dangerous, is kept here. We store such evidence in the evidence room. Have you disposed of stored evidence before? There's not been any need for that. We are not lacking for space. I need the singing ignition cloth dolls, yeah. We have not had to investigate that many incidents, so everything was kept just in case. Since wear and tear might harm the validity of evidence, we've taken care to ensure it is all well preserved. Yet something was stolen from your storage. Yes. Sakuya, may we see this evidence room? Will you keep it a secret from Miss Patchouli? If she learns I told you about this, she will not let me off easily. Obviously, your secret is safe with me until we bring it up in court. I don't want to go away from this theme, though. It's just a fucking room with a weird PNG of lockers. The evidence of the case of the Inte jar robbery is kept in the top tier's second locker from the left. Everything should be there. That is, everything we did not return to the owners, as I mentioned before. Just have a look for now. Renaissance style. I don't really know what that means. Single seat sofa. The armrest is stained for some reason. Ah, these tea stains are made by Lady Flounder. Bet she spilled tea here. This was a long time ago. Lady Flounder was drinking tea I'd made and sitting on the sofa. At the time, Lady Remelia was studying with Miss Patchouli and could not have tea herself. She got annoyed at Lady Flounder coming here to drink it, so she tried to take it from her by force. I tried to stop them, but of course they spilled that cup on the sofa in moments. It has been stained like this ever since. Huh. Miss Remelia used to be like that. She's become much more refined, has she not? Why don't you replace the sofa? I could never. It's part of a treasured memory. Like is usually so dry, but she gets sentimental about the strangest things. No, not that kind of gaps. I'll be back 1 sec. I mean, Alice's paintings would be described there too. No, Alice's paintings belong to an owner, though, right? A lamp on the small table. Because of that lamp, you can't put anything else on there. Waste of a good table. It's perfect size to play shogi or chess on. Fireplace. There's no fire lit there now. As you'd expect, mansions have huge fireplaces. You could easily get in here through the chimney. And to think of it, there's a story about an old man.
Maybe a serial home invader. He never steals and leaves presents behind. I don't really get it. Huh? Someone didn't close this locker properly. So it appears. Why this one? Which case is this locker for? It'd be the case of Miss Kawashiro's stolen optical camouflage suit. Something of it stolen from this locker too? Sakia, can you make sure? Yes, give me a moment. Ah! What's wrong? Dude, this investigation has been over an hour. Dude, this trial's gonna go on forever. It's gone. Elsa's perfume... What? I mean, the perfume I made. The spore-laced perfume. It was effectively poisoned, so he did not return it to its owner and kept it here. So still along with the igniting cloth. No, that's impossible. Why do you say that? Because after the incident at the temple, I came here to look through the evidence from the jar robbery again. That was when I discovered the igniting cloth was gone. To make sure nothing else had disappeared, I went through every single locker and I double-checked every last thing. I'm positive that perfume vial was still there. When and why was the perfume moved? Somebody came back since then to take it. Who could that be? Lots of memories here. Yeah. I suppose I'd go for Alice too. You're not wrong. Most of these are memories I'd rather forget. Actually, it did not occur to me before now, but jar robbery took place on April 30th, did it not? Yes, you're right. I remember it still. Whoa, wait a minute. The grimoire was stolen from the temple on April 30th too. That's true. Then, the grimoire and the jar were stolen on the same day, separated by a year. That is a fact. No way. Why would these two cases be so alike? Could it really be a Quinky Dink? See how it could be. How many connections between the cases couldn't possibly have happened by chance? What went missing from this locker? The doll made of igniting cloth we confiscated from the culprit. And the igniting cloth we found at the crime scene. It could have been the one stolen from here. I wasn't mistaken. Good grief, why is there such a crowd here? Patchily, I thought you were in a strategy meeting. We finished just now, but what about you? What might you be doing in a place like this? Oh, this can't be good in the slightest. Dude, this trial is gonna piss the shit out. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get the worst arguments on the planet. Oh my gosh, it's gonna piss me off. Achy! Investigating. But the incident occurred at Miura Temple, didn't it? So what is there for you to investigate here? The culprit in this case is a magician, don't you agree? Certainly. No one but a magician could have made use of that grimoire. So you understand what I mean, don't you? We only have 4 possible suspects at this point. What about Narumi? What an intriguing observation. This would all be best discussed in court, don't you think? I guess so. Sakia, we have preparations to make. Come with me. As you wish. She's about to beat Sakia to death. We have to get going too. Yeah, you're right. It seems things are finally getting interesting. I'll have to prepare for the party as well. We're gonna see Remy? I wonder if there's not an extra trial for this game because of, Shit, he ended what way? Hey there, so we're gonna be fine today? I mean, if the trial pans out, most of the trial is just Patchy trying to argue that Marissa's the culprit, we try to argue Patchy's the culprit, we inevitably reveal it's Patchy and move on like that, then it's fine.
Remy can party forever so they'll get along. Is that what you interpreted that as? I have a guess as to who the culprit might be, but your question is whether we can prove it. I don't know. I think there's a lot of damning evidence. I don't really understand the motive. Whoa, shape up, will ya? I'm getting worried here. Well, there's no doubt it's gonna be a tough one. I think, Stan, we don't have any decisive... Yeah, we don't have any decisive evidence. Guys, there's no evidence. It could literally be anything. No, I interpreted it as the party referring to the trial. It's going to be an interesting party. That's what I interpreted it as. That's only as things stand, right? In any case, I'll have to watch from the gallery. Right, leave it to us. I think it's time to begin. Let's bring this all to an end. For real this time. I knew it. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. You. It's time to bust out the real deal, not the fake. Remember, or maybe someone else. What if it's Patchy disguised as Remy? Trial of Secure Siamese, now it's... It wouldn't be. No, there's no shot. Nope. But... what if it's not actually Remy? What if it's not actually Aki? Dude, I'm gonna start believing in everything. If the Remy was the accomplice who doesn't know. What I took the strategy meeting to mean is that Patchy was telling her all about this. I can't trust anyone. What if Aki's not real? Defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for some time now. Before we begin, there's a question I must ask the defense. The defendant is someone you indicted yourself yesterday. Nevertheless, you will still defend her. If Remy's too prideful not judge Patchy for bringing such a stunt. Now they're flirting with each other, right? Yes, if my client maintains she's innocent, then, as her attorney, I will believe her no matter what. Very well, then. Incidentally, I have a question for the prosecution. Is there a reason for your stubborn substitution? Substitution. Oh, I grew bored of sitting at home with nothing to do, so I decided to invite myself to the party. That's what I thought. That's what I interpreted by party. But I don't know who I believe. Like, is this real? What if Patchy, just took that perfume to knock Remy unconscious and then turn into Remy? And she's pretending to be Remy. I thought vampires can't pass your threshold uninvited. Or was it that Devil's? Was that Devil's? Must admit, I do not find this satisfactory. We have a very special witness in store for you today, and someone has to be standing at this bench to summon them, wouldn't you agree? Okay, it's just summoning Patchy as a witness. Okay, I don't care. The real motive Patchy did all this to entertain Remy. The real motive is both of them did all this to entertain Flan. I believe I understand. In that case, may I call the prosecution's star witness? You may. Bailiff, escort the witness to the stand. It's gonna be Patchy. Yup. This trial's gonna get really good. It's gonna get so miserable before it gets good. Now then, witness, may you please state your name and occupation. Patchily knowledge, I serve as a prosecutor within our court system. Isn't it really convenient that every trial has every trial the culprit been a witness at some point? I guess that's not necessarily true, right? Because, like, some of them are technically, like, brought on later. Not initially involved. Figure out that Patchy's going. I think Patchy told Remy about everything. And they're trying to play this through. Which would also partially lead towards why this is the last game in the series. Because you run out of prosecutors. Witness, at the time of the incident, you were in charge of the security at Mjorn Temple. Is that correct? That's correct. And then you were momentarily left alone at the scene of the crime. Is that also correct? Still correct, yes. Now, without further ado, let's hear your testimony. What kind of testimony this be? Can we just, like, pull out all of our evidence to be like, Aki, this is bullshit. Oh, I skipped that one. On the day of the crime, we had been asked to guard Mjorn Temple by Gyakuten Hijiri, the head priest. Just before the hour written by the calling card came, the culprit blasted a hole in the temple's back wall. On hearing that noise, the Sensaki and her subordinates to investigate. Shortly afterwards, the culprit, disguised as a maid, attacked me from behind and stole the grimoire. I was unfortunately unable to see her face. I conclude from the methods used that this was the work of the defendant. See the meme you posted today, which... Yes, I did, yeah. I did like that one. It is true blasting holes in walls is something of a habit for the defendant. Furthermore, the accused could have quite easily made that poison perfume. Can you explain, Patchy? Yes, no one could have acquired the mushroom spores that were used to knock me out. Okay, well that's just fucking... That's just the most damning thing. That's just the most obvious thing. Save for the defendant, Murasaki-sama, right? Why only the defendant? She knows the location of a secret Trader's Cap habitat, and as a result, their spores can be bought at her shop. However, the Kurosami magic shop has not been open for business for quite some time. In other words, only the defendant could have prepared the spores used in this crime. I see. Can't tell who's the prosecutor anymore. Now you mention it, it does feel like we have to take on two prosecutors at the same time. Now, the defense, you may cross-examine. Understood. What sort of business tying the incident to stolen evidence here and now? I will destroy you, Patchy. I love this mix. Although these games have really good mixes. I just want Last Judgment to play at some point during this trial. I believe it will. I just really want it to play at some point. That was because of the calling card they received. Yes, after Yakin read it, she decided to ask for our assistance. In the end, you couldn't foil the thief. No, I have no excuse. There's no need to beat yourself up. Everyone makes mistakes. Well, you didn't do anything. It'll be a tedious trial, boys. By culprit, you mean the defendant, Murasaki-sama? It is true that there is no direct evidence to support this claim, but when you consider the spells the defendant prefers, it is a natural conclusion to come to. If you want to disagree, you'd better have some proof. Chance to bring up our evidence. For now, which way should we push the argument? And why didn't you go as well? I thought it might be a distraction, so I stood by. It would have been foolish to leave the room unguarded. Entirely sound reasoning, isn't it? I can't argue with that. You're saying you saw Marissa. I did not see her, but the weapon chosen very strongly suggests she was the one who attacked me. The Trader's Cap spores containing the perfume. You understand what they mean, do you not? Right, no one but Marissa could have put this together easily. We're going to talk about the explosions. It'd be like it had to have been stolen from this. And they're gonna make some excuse that Marissa broke in the SDM and stole all that evidence. The former evidence. Then you have no definite proof that Marissa committed this crime. Have you already forgotten everything you said yesterday? You called her a thief and a liar with no reservations. It was you who first presented the case for her guilt. So why is it you doubt our conclusions now? Had Marissa been the thief, she'd admit it up front. And we still have no idea why such a huge risk was taken in sending that calling card. The defendant does not consider what she does a crime. This calling card, it might be her idea of giving advance notice of her intent to borrow. But in that case, Marissa would have signed this letter with her own name. It could have merely been part of the game for her. It seems like the sort of thing she would enjoy. Indeed, I can believe taking the role of Phantom Thief would be appealing for a mischievous soul. Okay, Aki, just start stroking off the fucking prosecution over here. That's much more believable than I'd like it to be, in all honesty. It's not easy, is it? Patchy can speak her mind, even if she has to admit there's no evidence. Because the basis for their case is circumstantial evidence you present yourself in yesterday's trial, it makes things awkward for us in more ways than one. What she's talking about is only possibilities. We just have to show what really happened. What do you think was used to cause this blast? The high firepower magic the defendant is so proud of, no doubt. Yes, I believe she has used it to commit more than a few misdeeds. That big hole was made with Marissa's magic, huh? Your Honor, the prosecution submits the accused Hakuro as evidence. The symbol of her myriad destructive actions. We believe it was put to use during this crime. I'll accept it. Yes, she blasted open the wall and then no one saw her. Convenient. Hakuro's edit. Ooh. No, don't expect to shoot anywhere but forwards. By the way, this item was confiscated from the defendant and is in perfect working order. So there's no doubt it could have been used at the time of the crime. How unfortunate for you, defense. This testimony of the cause of explosion is quite significant. Please repeat your statement for the record. Do you have any proof of this? It is true there's no material evidence of it, but there's no proof that the defendant's magic wasn't used, and it would be in keeping with her character. The accused's selfish, inconsiderate behavior is quite troubling, isn't it, Miss Attorney? I want to hear that from you, of all people. Get blasted. Actually, we actually found something interesting in the rubble under that big hole today. Something interesting, you say? Yeah, I think she used this. She would have been, like, more aware of, like, maybe I should, get rid of the evidence. I guess you'd have to, like, mess with the crime scene. So never mind. Double teaming. Yeah, they're really tag teaming her. She's really getting dogpiled right now. Really a clusterfuck of people trying to bang on Aya right now. Have a look at this. What might this be? Appears to be scorched cloth. Do you not recognize it? Come to think of it, I do remember you presenting something very similar once before. That's right, this is igniting cloth, like the one that is used during the Iente jar robbery. Igniting cloth. Wonder if Remy does know that Patchy's guilty or not. What if Patchy's actually pretending to be Remy right now and Remy's pretending to be Patchy? Maybe I have to explain further. Alice had used this to destroy Iente's wall before. And now it has also been found at our crime scene. Which means the culprit used igniting cloth to blast open the temple's wall. Why are you so certain this is igniting cloth? This could be ordinary cloth burned by the explosion, which was then buried under the rubble. But Alice confirmed this is igniting cloth. you have any proof she is unmistakably correct about this? Your Honor, I would like to present evidence that, that 2 patches of igniting cloth were stolen from the SDM. Also, as an expert doll maker, she wouldn't make a mistake about what kind of cloth this is. Why are you arguing this? Just talk about the fact that we literally have proof and evidence that this was literally just stolen recently. Leaving aside whether Alice could have been wrong, this could not possibly be igniting cloth. Oh, she's digging her own grave. Oh, Patchy messed up. Patchy, if she did not say this line right now, we would have been screwed because I is too dumb. But Patchy just dug her own grave. How can you say that? It's simple. There's no way anyone could get more igniting cloth. Not one piece has been made since that institute. Wrong. There is one way to get igniting cloth. And what might that be? We were told by Sakia that, just after the incident at the temple, she went to the Scarlet Devil Mansion's evidence room. I had Risa versus Aiki, Remy, Patchy, and maybe Renosuke. No, Renosuke is on no one's side. And at that time, she discovered that the igniting cloth kept in the evidence lockers had disappeared. What? Remy might not be up to speed. Renosuke's revelations were usually in our favor. True. In other words, the culprit can obtain the igniting cloth from the police's evidence storage and used it to commit this crime. Oh, well, Marissa must have broken it and stolen it. Defense, are you certain about this? If you don't believe me, you can ask Sakuya. And simply inspecting the evidence lockers will tell us whether anything is missing or not. There's no doubt about it then. But for what purpose would the culprit take and use the igniting cloth from the evidence room? That evidence room is the heart of the police station. It'd normally be unthinkable for someone to sneak in there and steal something. Not so fast. The igniting cloth disappeared from the evidence room. It is difficult to believe it was merely lost. I think it was stolen is the natural conclusion. But there's no way to know if that has anything to do with this incident. What are you talking about? It was used at the scene of the crime. There's no proof this cloth you found is... You see, this is why I said Patchy dug her own grave, because she gave something that we could argue against. Remy only argues with vagueness. This is why Remy's the best prosecutor, because she only argues with vague comments that don't actually are meaningless, but that I is too dumb to argue against. Air Koichi could do it, yeah. To begin with, Saki only found out the cloth went missing after the incident, didn't she? It could have been taken long before that day. The stolen igniting cloth is definitely related to this case. If you're going to grandstand like this, I hope you have evidence to back it up. Obviously. You don't have to pretend the stolen evidence is unrelated. With 2 pieces, they'll have to change their tune. It was the panties, it's the perfume. According to Saika's testimony, igniting cloth was not the only thing to disappear from the evidence room. Perfume? No, that can't be. It is the knockout perfume that was used when Notori's optical camo suit was stolen. It has disappeared as well. What was that? It was the ghost story. Or Alice's perfume was also used to commit this crime, since a bottle of it was found in the maid uniform's pocket. Even if a perfume bottle vanished from the evidence room, there's no proof it was the one found at the... Your Honor, 2 things magically disappeared from the evidence room. There's also one of them that is used to create explosions. Oh, there was an explosion at the wall. One of them is used to knock people out with a perfume. Oh, one of that was found at the scene of the crime. It could have been anything. But the perfume stolen from the evidence lockers and the one found at the crime scene both contain Trader's Cap spores. Are you really gonna say it's all coinky-dink? No matter what you say, it's entirely possible. Then what about examining the fingerprints? If Tenji's fingerprints are on this, then there's no doubt this came from the evidence room. That is true. We still have all the forensic data from back then. Sakuya, take this to Notori Kawashiro and have her inspect it. Wow, we haven't busted this out in a while. Certainly. So have the results arrived? Wow, this was quick. They have. Tenchi Hidai's fingerprints were on this bottle. Thank you, Remy actually is probably not in the loop with Patchy then. I thought that she was, but that appears to be wrong. Good on you, Remy. So the defense was not mistaken. The perfume bottle Patchy found near the crime scene was the one stolen from the evidence room. Everyone get a load of that prosecutor's fat ass. That was the gallery talking. You could hear it in the background. Order! From using this crime came from the police's evidence lockers. So you still gonna deny that the igniting cloth stolen from the same lockers was involved as well? This scrap I found at the scene could not be anything but igniting cloth. But could the defendant even have stolen these items from the police without being spotted? Patchy is about to be like, I was taking a nap, and everyone at the SDM was taking a nap all at the same time at 3 p.m. the other day. So someone could have broken in. And she, when it's the case, always. Alright, evidence room is not visited or inspected often. It is not possible that the defendant could have sneaked in and out with the spoils unnoticed. It would have been possible. In fact, I believe I can make it more than a possibility. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind, bro. What do you mean? Something occurred to me, the reason why the defendant chose to steal these items from our evidence lockers. Then please explain for the court. If you now, I'm gonna blow my lid. Then it must have been the one who stole these items from their evidence locker. He did so in order to use them as part of her plan to pin the crime on Alice Margidroid. Alice had made the igniting cloth into a doll with her own hands. If it was destroyed with the exploding doll, it'd bring suspicion on the doll maker. They should mercilessly the perfume as well. Then okay, yeah. I see. So you claim these risks were taken in service of making the deception more complete. Yes, I believe this explains everything. In that case, the defense may cross-examine. Ooh! She's letting me cross-examine without first being like, I now render my verdict! It's a critical flaw in this testimony. Time to strike there and sink her in one shot. Sink or swim. I just want to hear Last Judgment at some point. Maybe we'll get some, Strawberry Crisis as well. Why would it have been Marissa? You have a plausible explanation why Iki is so dumb in these games. Want to hear it? I think I might have some better ideas. I'm curious to see what you're going to say, though. Why would it have been Marissa? I was about to explain. Can you not rein yourself in a little? Haste makes wastes, huh? You mean that before Marissa even committed this crime, she was already planning to pin it on Alice? Yes, that is our conclusion. Marissa had been falsely accused by Alice once before. There's ample reason for her to seek revenge. The real Aki is captured in Flan's room, and Flan used the potion to turn into Aki for the trials. This was the argument the defense made yesterday to begin with. She never has to think. It's the first time she realized that think in 10,000 years. Ooh, Kageyama, you raise a good point. No, I really walked into a trap back then. You absolutely sure?
According to the record, was it the one who exposed the igniting cloth doll? You? That is true, yes. Let's say, you had a bad habit of speaking up without thinking things through. But could Marissa even have used the doll? Nothing complex had been required. The igniting cloth can be set ablaze simply by rubbing it. You'd only need to place the doll by hand near the wall. Moreover, by preparing a time-delayed ignition spell, you could be remotely detonated without worry. So there are no issues here. Nothing can be done here, looks like. However, Marissa had some of Alice's perfume already, so there's no need to steal it. If she'd got rid of her own bottle, what would she do if she asks what happened to it later? By keeping her own perfume bottle, she had a ready-made defense against accusations. She sure knows a lot about the procedure, yeah. It would have been better to never have had any of Alice's perfume to begin with, don't you think? Regarding this, I must admit I do not understand fully. In any case, there's no doubt Marissa was trying to frame Alice. This is still the evidence that she could use it to frame Alice. The really painful part here is that Marissa's motive is something you established yesterday, Aya. Remember you disproved my own arguments. For Marissa swore to us that even if she submitted a crime, she'd never pin it on Alice. Marissa really was framed for a crime by Alice once before in the past, so... Marissa wouldn't resent her or something like that, no matter what. What is the evidence that Marissa did not try to frame this on Alice? Patchy's panties? I don't think that should be relevant here. Double Revy too, true. Let me do a double press just to be safe. So I'm not sure exactly where my contradiction is here. Okay, I'm already looping. What am I looking at here? really doubt it, but I'm just gonna want to click it. Yeah. Gonna click things. Not sure. Okay. Get my HP back. I'm probably gonna need it. Okay, the perfume. Patchily, I hate to have to tell you this, but that's impossible. What do you mean? You're claiming that, in order to use it to frame Alice, Marissa stole this perfume bottle before the crime. That's correct. Fuck, dude, I love this thing so much. I'm sorry, but there's another thing. There's something I forgot to mention, according to Sakuya. Perfume vanished from the evidence room after the incident. What? In order to pin the crime on Alice, Marissa would have had Sakuya's work ethic. I know. He's the best SCM character. Marissa would have had to get the perfume beforehand and leave it at the scene. But this perfume was actually stolen after the incident. So Marissa could have used it to commit this crime. Order in the court! Order! It's offense. What on earth does this mean? The culprit stole this perfume in order to frame Alice for the crime. There's no doubt about that. But it's hard to imagine that Marissa stole this perfume after the incident. Oh, you find it hard to imagine? And here I thought imagination was the one area in which you weren't lacking. Prosecution has a rebuttal, then? Originally, Marissa thought to use the igniting cloth doll Alice had made to pin the crime on her. But later she remembered about the perfume bottle and realized she could plant that at the scene too. Oh, fucking wow! Wow, Remy! Certified vile creature moment? And that's why she stole the perfume after the incident. If you think about it like that, nothing's wrong. That would be possible. We'll ignore that. If there are no more issues, we'll ignore that that is absolutely batshit insane. It's too bad, Romelia, but what you're claiming creates further contradictions. You put your finger at my face, pointed at the evidence. Evidence Marissa could not have stolen the perfume later. What is the evidence that she could not have stolen it later? The entire day is what she said last day. Yeah, we're gonna believe that.
I was really hoping. No, that's not. This uniform was found shortly after the crime. You said this perfume bottle was in his pocket. Ah. You understand now, perfume discovered immediately after the incident could not have been stolen after the incident. That's impossible. Wait a moment, Miss Attorney. You said the perfume I found with these clothes was the very same perfume stolen from the evidence room. Yes, that's right. But then what you say makes no sense whatsoever. It's true Saki and I discovered this uniform that night. It is also true that I found the perfume in his pocket. The perfume must have been stolen from the evidence room after the night of the crime. What can you call this except a contradiction? It's come to this, the point of no return. The time we start fighting for real. After the crime, you and Saki found this uniform. The perfume... the perfume bottle was in its pocket. And the perfume was stolen from the evidence room later. One of these statements must be a lie. Then why don't you tell me? Where's the lie? I fucking love this theme, dude. Last Judgment is such a good theme. The perfume was not found in the uniform's pocket. What are you saying? I found this perfume bottle myself. But we can only take your word for it. No one else witnessed the moment you discovered that bottle. You're saying Patchy lied? Why would she ever do that? The reason is obvious. Actually, you're the true culprit behind this crime. See, I gotta thank Thanatos for just mentioning a wild theory like a day and a half ago in-game. That just made me like... That made me go back and look at like the old... like my previous VOD to like see what did she say. Order! What is the meaning of this defense? Are you truly addicting this witness? I would never say something like that as a joke. But in this case, must have been a magician. They would need to be able to use the stolen grimoire in order to turn Alice into a child. At the time of the crime, 2 magicians were on the scene without a doubt, you and Gyakuten. But Gyakuten would have no reason to steal her own grimoire. Light General, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. And the person who should be the most suspicious is the one who was left alone at the scene of the crime. Who is the one who told Saki? Oh, you guys go investigate. I'll defend the ground. Shut your mouth. Just be quiet and listen. What about the maid uniform the thief used as a disguise they found? Patcher's the culprit. She wouldn't need that. And that was exactly what Patchy wanted us to think. To begin with, we only have a word that the culprit ever came to the crime scene. We took for granted Patchy was attacked and fainted, but no one ever saw that happen. These are all fabrications concocted by her. What? She told us the culprit escaped from the temple and their discarded disguise was left behind. And so we all believed in that culprit's existence. That's impossible. That's completely impossible. At the moment of the crime, you used your authority as head of security to drive everyone else from the room, leaving yourself alone at the scene. And when you went to search Alice's house, you could have discovered the grimoire anywhere you liked, since it was hidden under your cloak to begin with. Berg. Okay, what are they gonna pull out? What are they gonna pull out to, like, stall? Your completely deluded defense. Deluded? When the accused's home was searched today, irrefutable proof of her guilt was found. What are you talking about? Why are you acting so panicked? Not like we have a fucking mountain of evidence. Look at this. It only looks like paper cut full of holes. I'm gonna lose my mind. Look. Oh, I'm up from my chair. Holy shit, this is your evidence. This is your fabricated evidence, Patchy? Aya, why are you acting so surprised? We literally have the counter argument. Not that. Right here. We literally have the counter argument for this. Boom Boom Mario, but looks like it's seen better days. This was found in Murasa Kirisami's garbage. Fucking how convenient. You already understand what this evidence means, do you not? The thief's calling card. Aya, we literally have the evidence for this right now. Exactly, coming from the slip of paper used by the culprit to make the calling card. The newspaper clippings were added to the court record. Oh, that's not her talking. Order! These clippings were found in the accused's home. There's no doubt she wrote that calling card. Thank you, Aya. I'm afraid that's extremely unlikely. How can you even say that? You claim that Marissa threw this away in her garbage to be rid of it. But to Marissa, this would have been definite proof of her crime. If that was the case, Marissa had a much faster and safer way of making this disappear. Words are meaningless here. And could have disposed of it before it was... Yeah, okay, this is the Hakuro. Have a look at this! Pulls out Fudacock. It's some bad news. I believe I understand. I do not even need to explain. With this, Marissa could start fire at literally any time. And yet she never thought to burn this incredibly incriminating evidence? Furthermore, the prosecution told themselves that she had this Hakuro with her when she was arrested. So there's only one way this makes sense. This clipping is evidence the culprit fabricated to pin the crime on Marissa. To begin with, if Marissa were the culprit, she would have placed this in Alice's house as well, to frame her. This isn't proof of the evidence was fabricated at all. The accused could have just forgotten about it. I have shown that there's reason to doubt this evidence, and now the defense will be showing another possibility. Another possibility? Right. Who is the culprit who planted this clipping? And that's something you could prove? It is. Fuck, this is getting exciting. I haven't seen the end yet. And the end usually is painful. But so far, this is probably the best trial of the series. Patchily, I happen to have a look around your library today. I see. I take you found something. Yes, I found out you appear to be a subscriber to my newspaper. Ah, that. They're somewhat useful references. But something was off. You had a whole set of issues, except the one concerning the Idate jar robbery was nowhere to be found. One of them was missing. Yeah, I'm gonna take it that Remy has no idea that she's actually... The other issues were ordered. Were all ordered in sequence, but that one wasn't there. Now take a look at the clippings that were found with the articles and headlines cut out. No one can tell what they contained. But the date of the issue is still there, May 3rd. May 3rd. Why, that would be today. Is that significant? Last year, the incident at Inte had been settled by May 2nd. I published an article about it the next day. Which would mean the issue of Boon Boon Maru about the Inte robbery was dated May 3rd. Moo. McGill. A paper dated May 3rd disappeared from your library, and a paper dated May 3rd was found in Marissa's house. How could we not conclude they are one and the same? Sadly for you, I'll never allow this to stand. What the fuck? And why is that? These newspaper clippings are full of holes. Even though you wrote it yourself, not even you could tell what had been written up here now, can you? You've lived for over 1,000 years. Surely you've published more than one May 3rd paper in your time. So with only a date to go by, there's no way to tell if it was really the issue about the Inte. That's your evidence? No, this must have contained the article about the stolen jar. And how can you be certain? It all comes down to the date of our current incident occurred. Written down on the calling card, April 30th. Right, April 30th. That was the night of the crime. In other words, it was the date that had to be put in the calling card. Your Honor, do you remember what happened on last year's April 30th? April 30th is the last year's. Ah, that was the day of the robbery at Inte. That's right. Now, this cut of newspaper was used to make this calling card. And this May 3rd issue would have included an article on the Inte jar robbery. And that is how the day of the calling card came to align with that of last year's incident. You're running Patchy to jail, let's go. No speedering this. This has been basically 2 hours already, and it's still going. But that is just a little. That's just the littlest odd, little bit odd. You know the words. If you need to take a date from newspaper, you can simply cut out the date of issue. So why would I deliberately seek out a date in the articles if that is what you claim I did? Gyakuten once told us something about her grimoire, that it was stolen while they were preparing stronger security for its keeping. And she said all would have been ready within 2 days. 2 days. This means the day of the issue, May 3rd, would be too late. The grimoire would be safely stored away. Then an earlier paper could have been used instead. Naturally, his plan was quite carefully premeditated, and so preparations were quite elaborate. Go along with those preparations and strike when the security at the temple was weak. He picked out an article with a date that suited her plans perfectly. And that article was April 30th. Ugh. It's not over. There's still going to be argues left. Order! We heard it from Gyakuten herself that the one who recommended she write a grimoire was you, Patchley. Did you not encourage her to make this grimoire for the sole purpose of stealing it later? I hesitate about this. Goodness, what a weather vane you are. Oh no, what the fuck are you gonna try to argue? What are you gonna try to argue? Weather vane? Just yesterday you were swearing Mercer was the thief. And yet it's Patchy you're treating like a criminal today. Can we really trust someone so fickle? That's a fair point. What?! This argument is the most meaningless thing I've ever heard you say in your life. You say Patchy stole Byakuren's grimoire. Then you should be able to tell us. Why would she ever do something like that? Speaking of which, I had no need of that grimoire. Obviously. What would you want with rejuvenation? Yes, that's quite important. How will you respond, defense? You prove the witness had a motive. His motive for stealing Byakuren's grimoire, you mean? Of course I can prove it. No, I don't understand either. It's up to the defense to explain. Okay, come on, Aya, you're stupid. Can't prove Patchy had a motive for stealing this grimoire. Don't be so hasty, Amelia. I only said I couldn't prove Patchy had a motive for stealing this grimoire. You're trying to buy patience. If you're saying Patchy had some other reason to do this, then prove that. I'd be so dumb excited to Revy. So, can you prove some other motive, Defense? Okay, I just had it the other way around. Okay. Look at this. These are grimoires. Yeah, seized from Marissa's house today, right? I fucking swear. If all of this ends and it's like, oh, this was just Patchy trying to get her books back, and she's like, well, you know, she is kind of justified in this, so it's like, it's fine, right? I'm gonna fucking piss and shit everywhere. From the outset, Patchy's intent was to arrest Marissa and reclaim these stolen books under the pretense of seizing evidence. Fortunately for you, there'd be no need to use such a roundabout method to recover those books. Patchy could always get them back by going through the courts. It's nonsense, all of it. It's true that Patchy once recovered her stolen books through that method. However, Marissa only saw it as being urged to return what she had borrowed. She kept on stealing books without reflecting on it in any way. Even if Patchy got her books back, Marissa would just be taking them. And that is why Patchy came up with this plan, to punish Marissa. Seems our bird-brained attorney cannot even keep track of her clients. What's that supposed to mean? The suspect we first arrested as the thief who attacked Mjorn Temple was Alice Margitfloyd. And so the motive you came up with makes no sense. Yes, you'd be right. It was about getting these books back from Marissa, then Marissa would have been the one arrested from the beginning. Are you going to say that Patchy was after Alice's grimoires now? There's one important matter to consider here, Amelia. So what would that be? Patchy originally intended to have Marissa attended, and that is why a trap was set on Marissa's door. But then Patchy was given a very unpleasant surprise. By pure chance, before Marissa ever could, Alice touched the fateful doorknob first. Wasn't she there because the defendant had lent her that book on purpose? Marissa had wanted to spring a trap on Alice. A much more straightforward method would have been used. Lending a book to Alice and immediately asking for it back, again to lure her into a trap, is far too bizarre, compared to the careful planning that would have come before. So you mean to say the arrest of Alice Margitfloyd was not part of the plan? That's right. It's quite hard to prove something happened by chance, don't you think? Nevertheless, it was Patchy who set the trap, and the purpose of that trap was to turn Marissa into a child. After all, if, after Byakuren's grimoire was stolen, a Marissa that looked like a child had been found, everyone would have believed that she'd stolen the grimoire and used its rejuvenating spell. But the one who ended up turned into a child was Alice. But then, the plan you claim Patchy put together would have all fallen apart. And it did. That was why she arranged for me to defend Alice 2 days ago. It was for that purpose Patchy rushed to put together evidence that Marissa tried to frame Alice, so that I'd expose Marissa myself in court. These are false accusations, easily disproven. You haven't disproven fucking shit. None of your arguments have ever meant shit in anything. If you think you can prove me wrong, then try. Gladly, Your Honor. Will you allow me to testify? Certainly, you may speak. A bit more, the end is in sight. Oprah did 3 things that morning. They turned Alice into a child. We haven't used any evidence about turning into Alice. Because the Cobra turned into Alice. They turned Alice into a child, transformed into Alice using a magic potion, and planted the grimoire inside in Alice's house. But I never had an opportunity to prepare Alice's hair, meaning I could not have taken her shape. Okay, well that's the easiest thing I could have possibly found to disprove. It's right here. To Your assertion does not hold water. You could not have taken Alice's shape. That's quite significant. Alice fainted when she was transformed. You could have taken her hair then. Aya, there's an easier answer. Aya, there's an easier answer. Get scammed out of Lollyarissa, yeah. Fortunately, that would not work. Alice would have already turned into a child. If they'd taken her hair after her transformation, then that is the shape I would have taken. Aya! We have the evidence, Aya! I don't usually ask for emotes, but can we get the eye emote? The Monday brain? Holy shit, Aya. It's right here! No, not that one. The one with oh, that one also works, I guess. I was thinking about the one with her in the printer. Hard to say, but we do know that for sure. What do you mean, Alice? I just fucking answered, probably. I confirm that Patchoul's correct. This magic potion takes information imprinted in the hair to determine which appearance to give the drinker. Yeah, that one. Hair taken from you as a child will contain the description of my childish self, so to speak. Childlike self. So Patchouli turned into little Alice as well. Suppose I should add for the defense's benefit that this information is like a blueprint of the body. Okay, let's just go through it. And well, yeah. Body fall is for the reason that all different appearance. Yeah, I see. The Alice witnessed by Nazareth was definitely not a small child. Yep, And so what you claim could never have happened. Yep. And will I cross-examine? Yep, of course I will. Yep, Have to show. Yep, Listen, I knew what they were arguing. I just want to get to the point there, okay? It just pisses me off at that part. Like, I have the evidence. I know what to argue. Aya's being dumb and be like, oh, I can't argue. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Oh, could be anything. Oh my gosh. Okay. And what were these three things? And I was getting to that. In fact, at this point, I should not even need to tell you. Just settle down and listen properly. All the tricks the culprit used to pin the crime on Alice, you mean? Exactly, and conversely, anyone who could not do these three things could not be the culprit. And one of them would not be possible for Patchy. Correct. That is a bird brain. Everyone is a bird brain, except Momiji. I give Momiji love. Because Momiji is beautiful. But like everyone else is. Really had no chance at all. If you think she ever had a chance, then show it with evidence. Don't accept some half-hearted theory if you think you can get this hair, then prove it. I mean, I might as well go through the whole conversation. The Momiji version of this game? Where's the Momiji version of this game? However, I've already shown you could not have committed this crime. You could have committed this crime. I could not have. Yet there's no proof of it. Going on about possibilities is meaningless. What matters now is evidence. What do you think, Aya? Can you break down this testimony? Yes, there's an answer. You say no chance to get Alice's hair, but that's not quite right. I swear the black panties are... Here's the thing. I want to mention something. This has been... We didn't, like, use this directly ourselves, but it's been brought up. This has been used. This has been used. This has been used. This has been used. This. These have all been used. This has been used. This has been used. This is the only piece of evidence left. It's gonna be the fucking last piece of evidence in the entire trial. Is these fucking panties. Oh, what do you mean by that? We showed in court yesterday, didn't we? Marissa had been making that transformation potion. From the start, Marissa had been preparing that potion so she could turn into Alice. And she'd also prepared some of Alice's hair, which she'd placed between the pages of this book. And what did that have to do with Patchy? What's this have to do with Patchy? Alice told us she'd brought this book to Marissa's house, but when she came to after fainting, it was gone. That could only mean someone took it. However, Marissa kept frantically looking for that book the following days, so it could not have been her. And I think the one who took it was you, Patchy. Even if you say I took it, there's no proof of that. In fact, yesterday you were insisting Marissa had found the book after all and hid it. It's true, this is what I thought yesterday. We've since discovered someone else who'd have a reason to pick up this book. Meaning Patchy? That's right. Patchy, this book was originally your property, wasn't it? What of it? You saw Alice collapse before Marissa's door. You also saw the book she had with her. So you decided to get back your book. And when you opened it, you found Alice's hair along with the transformation potion's recipe. He doesn't need to say anything, she already knows this is easy to solve, yeah. Just by looking at someone's hair, there'd be no way to know for sure it was Alice's. She would know, without a doubt. How? There was another thing Marissa had left in the book. A checklist of everything she'd need to do to bring her plan to fruition. Her plan? Marissa had planned to turn herself into Alice and sneak into Patchy's library this way. And every step of that plan was written down on a list and left in this book. And after Patchy read this, she would absolutely figure out that the hair was Alice's. They're gonna make come out, you look at Patchy's panties, aren't they? Yeah. But I've never heard that checklist before. It'd be a problem for Patchy if someone else saw it. Because she had a different plan for that potion. It would become something Marissa had made to frame Alice for her crime. And so that list could... that could show Marissa's real intentions for the potion was destroyed. Nerd. Okay, that seems like something you could argue against, but they're not. Patchy, you set the trap in Marissa's house, and you wait for the moment Marissa would set it off. But contrary to your expectations, Alice showed up, and was the one who turned into a child. Seeing that book she was carrying probably only threw you into further panic. Something that had belonged to you had appeared on the scene. And trapped between its pages, you found the entirety of Marissa's plans and Alice's golden hair. That was when you realized what an incredible opportunity to salvage this disaster had fallen into your lap. You came up with a way to use the potion Marissa prepared to pin the crime on Alice. There's still one other thing to argue because we haven't used the panties, so they're going to make one last-ditch effort. This is ridiculous. Complete nonsense. Watching Alice lying there with notes in hair in hand, he must have been reminded of something. The Godstone case, where Moko... Oh, no, please, no. Moko had used the disguise to frame Sho. So you'd pull off the same trick yourself by using Marissa's potion to become Alice. Urgh. Alice had fainted the instant she touched the doorknob, a state much like the one Sho had been in that night, passed out drunk under a tree. It was a suitable situation for someone to take her place for a short while. However, you were on the doorstep of Marissa's house, and Alice could have come to at any time. Take her clothes then and there would have been too risky. So you went to Alice's house and stole some of her clothes. What are you saying now? Leave her the clothes, you need to do something about your hair. Back then, in the Godstone case, Moko had used the ambiguity of Torchlight to fool an intoxicated Sanai. We had something even better, the potion you borrowed from Marissa's house. Add a bit of Alice's hair to it, and you turn into a perfect duplicate. And so, you fully took on Moko's role. Down to having your crime exposed in court. Okay, here comes the panty argument any second now. Order! You then played the part of the detective hounding Alice for us, but behind the scenes you were setting the stage for Marissa's downfall. So yesterday you planted this book in Marissa's house, and then goaded me into presenting it in court.
Thank you.
If I had wanted to trap Marissa as you said, why would I ever let go of that book? At the tail end of yesterday's trial, I explained how Marissa's crimes were committed, but that was all according to the script you'd written. And leaving that book in Marissa's house for you to find was also an important part of that script. Okay, he's gonna be solving now, so you can see Patchy's panties, you know it. On top of it, to make sure I properly deliver my lines, rather than seek out a guilty verdict like you usually do, you deliberately held the trial to discuss that book. You made it almost insultingly easy to present it. It was really easy.
At the time, I was still playing my part as in your elaborate puppet show, and that book was the decisive evidence that would bring us to the climax. Oh! Where Alice is exonerated, and Marissa is found guilty in her place. An absurd fantasy, all of it. Is it? Having left Alice unconscious, you went to her home and left one of her outfits, and stole one of her outfits. After transforming, you allowed yourself to be witnessed by Nazarene, then returned to the Scarlet Devil Mansion. Once Nazarene made a report, you went to Alice's house, taking the grimoire and her clothes with you. While the arrest was made, you neatly placed the clothes back where you had taken them and hid the grimoire in that sofa, complete with some of Marissa's hair. And so when you found the grimoire later, no one could deny it had been discovered in Alice's house. But with Marissa's hair stuck in there, it would appear she was the one who planted it. But that hair is a bit of a problem, isn't it? We've been over this with Alice, but now Patchy would need to have Marissa's hair on hand too. Well, when the jar robbery happened, Patchy would have searched Marissa's house as well. That would have been a good chance to get some of her hair. That's an entire year ago. You gonna say Patchy planned this all the way back then? Maybe not this, in particular. But Alice told us that to make what is called forbidden potions, something like a target's hair is required. So why would Patchy not secure some of Marissa's hair? You never know, and it could come in handy. Just give up already. There's no proof Patchy was ever plotting something like this. I do have testimony on Marissa's reasons for preparing that forbidden potion. She'd come to believe that Patchy was upset with her and planning something recently. So she decided she'd transform herself into Alice and borrow a book that way. We can't believe anything she says. Furthermore, I have proof Patchy sought to frame Marissa. There's more? Didn't you wonder, why did the culprit have to steal the igniting cloth doll from the evidence room to begin with? You can't mean... Yes, blowing a hole in the wall would make it look like Marissa's crime. But blasting a hole in a stone wall elsewhere would not normally be possible for Patchy. And that is why she used the igniting cloth, which had been proven effective in a past incident. Merc! I'm so concerned. Not that, like, I can't win this trial, but how it's gonna end. But since Marissa was not the one she initially intended to frame, she did not take the perfume then. However, the one she had to arrest the next day was Alice. So she dipped into her collection of old mementos again, and acted like she'd found that perfume bottle at the scene of the crime. The bottle would appear to be evidence against Alice, but the spores inside it, which only Marissa could get, would become proof of Marissa's guilt. This is just a delusion of the defenses. You don't have any proof Patchy did all this. None at all. It's true that at this time I have no definitive proof that Patchy is the culprit, but I have irrefutable evidence that the culprit is connected to the police. You. What? Oh yeah, the maid clothes, yeah. Here's my evidence. I was connected to the police, and I see a connection myself. Yes, do you agree? You're... Oh, okay. Okay, buddy. Are they stupid? Shush, shush, shush. They might be a little dumb at times. Wait, what was this save called? Here's my evidence. No. The 1 week puppeteer. I go back to get my HP back.
Yeah. This case was unlike all of our past ones in many ways. In all the incidents investigated thus far, except for the ones that took place in the Scarlet Devil Mansion itself, a report was sent to the police after the fact, then they arrived at the scene to make inquiries. However, this time before any incident ever occurred, the police were already at the scene. Well, that was because of the calling card. And that is exactly why that calling card is so puzzling. What reason did the culprit have to send it? After reading this, Gyakuten would call the police, which would make the heist even harder. They're just imitating those outside world phantom thieves? Joker! That's not a reason to take this kind of risk. But the crime went without a hitch. Yes, and that was hard to explain to begin with. How did Phantom Thief X can't keep getting away with it, get away with their crime, even though the temple was crawling with police? You can't mean. There's one simple answer to all these questions. Phantom Thief X was part of the police. This was the reason the culprit sent a calling card. It was to bring the police to the scene. So the culprit must be an officer of the law. Do you think I'll just let you say whatever you want? What an argument. I'm sorry, Patchouli, but I have yet another reason to suspect you in particular. What other reason? I'll make everything clear here and now, Patchouli. Why did you take advantage of Momiji's disappearance to revive this court system? What on earth are you talking about now? Patchouli, you needed these trials to be held again, so you could use them as your weapon against Marissa. What? I'm talking about the time Momiji went missing for days, and you brought false charges against Kogasa Tadara. That incident. That was when you'd come up with this plan to abuse your position in our legal system. This was why you convinced the judge to revive the trials, and brought the case of Kogasa to court. Yes, your whole plan started with that incident. This is absurd. Are you seriously claiming that because I advised the court to be revived, I must be the culprit? That wasn't it. That was your reason. Well. Furthermore, you suggested to Gyakuten that she should write a grimoire shortly after Momiji's disappearance. You manipulated her into making this grimoire, all so you could use as a prop in your scheme. Why would she need Byakuren's grimoire, of all things? There are all kinds of other ways one could frame Marissa. There were two reasons. The first is that the grimoire would contain spells that change one's appearance, such as the rejuvenation spell. Where's the panties? Where's the panties? As I said earlier, if Marissa returned to a child, no one could doubt that the Stone Grimoire was involved. And the second reason was to make Gyakuten and Mioran Temple the plaintiffs. Why Gyakuten? As much as I hate to admit it, Marissa, the defendant, is an infamous troublemaker. So if someone that had a past histories, Marissa had been picked as the victim, there was a risk they might seek to get even with her on their own terms. The newly arrived Mioran Temple had no such history, and so everything would be left to the courts. Did she really have thought this far ahead? Just so Patchy could send Marissa to jail. Well, she is a prosecutor, even if she's a rotten one. To add, oh shit, we're getting shot. To add to this, Marissa frequently steals magic items, so it would be best if the victim was a fellow magician. A magician has no reason to think badly of Marissa. Gyakuten was the only option. That is why her grimoire became the centerpiece of this story. Now, what do you have to say to that, Patchy? Muck you! We're so back. And it's over. No. The panties haven't been used yet. Here we go. You do love to make a fool of my police force, but I won't tolerate this nonsense. Nonsense? Just talking about the evidence. Everything you've presented thus far is entirely circumstantial. You still don't have any proof at all. You can't even prove Patchy ever did any of this. Oh, but I can. Aya, what do we do? You can't back down now. Unfortunately, I said earlier that I didn't have definite evidence at this time, right? The hell with the theatrics. Present it now. I don't have any definite proof yet, but maybe I could still find it to tell him what it is. Here we go. This again? More panties? This is the clue that will lead us to the culprit. A vast array of evidence was fabricated in this case, so nearly all clues that point to an individual are fakes. Except for this. We're gonna pretend this is not just some sick joke. Why panties of all things? It's because they are panties, in fact. No one could ever imagine they'd become crucial evidence. Every time I hear it, it just puts a smile on my face. Moving on to the games, yeah. Think back to the Godstone case. In the aftermath, Sho woke up from her stupor in her underwear. Stupor. Because Moko had taken her clothes off of her. But conversely, Moko did not go so far as to take her underwear. After all, since no one's supposed to see her underwear, it is not a useful part of a disguise, so the culprit in our case neglected to steal Alice's panties as well. But that ended up being their fatal mistake. Because by pure chance, Nazareth saw the black panties the fake Alice was wearing. That's not possible. You think we should call this the panty case? Yeah. We've established that Alice doesn't own black panties, while Marissa prefers bloomers. And here we have these fancy black panties. Who on earth do they belong to? It's pointless to think about it. The culprit would obviously get rid of them. Komachi. Do sub-games? Yeah! I'm still hesitant about playing them. Could they? What does that mean? Exactly what it sounds like. When and how would the culprit have got rid of this evidence? How are we supposed to know that? Komachi has been investigating the case day and night without rest. And she's been attended by the mansion's maid. Oh no. You're telling me they're very used panties? For that, she had to prepare all evidence she'd need to frame Alice and Marissa. So, even if she could hide these panties, she'd never had a chance to destroy them. If she'd hidden them somewhere, how are you gonna find out where they are? Prove it? Can I not? I have to prove it. It's the only way to beat Patchouli. Defense is now going to present evidence. The black panties Nazareth witness can still be found. That's impossible. Entirely impossible. Time being, let's hear what the defense. They're somewhere in this courtroom. What? I wonder why these people started making porn games eventually. Order! And this is where we'll find them. The judge! Aki, you're wearing them! Patchouli, I'm very sorry, but there's one more thing I must ask of you. Oh, what is it? I have to ask you to show the court your underwear. I mean, you could just ask Komachi. Like, that's what we did with Alice. What? Defense! That joke has gone too far! Patchouli, it must have put you in a panic to realize Nazareth had seen your underwear. Because these panties were the only evidence you had neglected to fabricate, you had to dispose of them, somehow, now. However, you had to direct the police's investigation. And you had to prepare evidence against Marissa. Taking care of these panties would take time you did not have. So all you could do was keep hiding them in a place no one would ever find them. But why? If you hid them somewhere, they might be found, and someone would recognize them. It would all be over. So all you could do was keep wearing these panties that might become evidence. All that time until now. That's insane! If they ever found out, there'd be no escape! Even so, keeping this fatal evidence close by must have been the only way you could keep your peace of mind. Much like it was for Alice 1 year ago, right? Quite so. I never imagined I could be cornered like this. There's simply no way I could beat you, is there? Patchy. I'm sorry, Remy. This is the best I could come up with. Marissa took my books again and again. It was mortifying. But there's nothing I could do about it with my own power alone. Why didn't you ever turn to me? We're friends, aren't we? It's because we are friends I couldn't involve you. This is a crime, right? Patchy, you realize what you've done? Now that this has happened, you can't ever be a prosecutor in this court again. Everything you've done up till now as part of these trials, all that you've built in this courtroom, it's all going to disappear. So before it came to that, why did you... I skipped that. Ask for my help. Because these were my battles to fight, Remy. Settling my scores with Marissa, my record as a prosecutor. They were all my battles to fight. Patchy. But in all honesty, you knew, didn't you, Remy? That I was the culprit. Why else would you allow Sakyo to help the Tengu? Huh? Wait, what are you talking about? You're right as always, Patchy. Tengu, did you not think it was odd that when you came to the library, Sakyo let you do as you liked, and there in the evidence room, and even told you about the missing evidence? Now she mentions it, it was. Whichever evidence was missing from the locker, Sakyo told me before anyone else. And that's when I began to suspect Patchy. I wanted to be sure of the truth, so I let Sakyo to help you. If Patchy had really strayed from the right path, then it was the purpose of this court to stop her. Amelia. Now then, Your Honor, I doubt we will have we'll have cause to see each other as often, so I suppose this is farewell. Please render the proper verdict on the defendant, as you always do. Actually, knowledge. Yes, Your Honor. Accept your punishment with grace, and work tirelessly until the day you can stand this court again comes. That is the good deed you can do right now. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Now it seems we have elucidated all of these incidents' many mysteries. Remy was the better prosecutor anyway? Yeah. Remy's hoity-toity attitude is the best. I believe all this chaos originated from with the defendant, but as far as this crime is concerned, she is not guilty. What a complicated affair. Aya, is this really fine? I couldn't tell you. For the time being, there's nothing to deliberate further, so I'll now hand out my verdict on the defendant, Murasaki-Same. Guilty! Court is henceforth adjourned. Instant for the second time, too. Oh, you really saved me back there. Thanks a lot. No, it was... Well, I gotta run, so... Marissa. Hey there, Patchy. Why are you making that face? You look like someone died. I'm sorry for everything. Don't worry about that. I'll be over to borrow some stuff later, so we can just... I fear I won't be able to lend you anything for a while. Well, why is that? Well, in any case, I should be going. I'm sorry if I haven't bothered you with this as well, Tengu. No. I took this on myself. What's this all about? Everybody's acting all gloomy. Marissa, you really truly not understand anything. Alice! I asked Aya to defend you because I believed in your innocence. But look at you now, I'm beginning to wish I'd let Patchy have her way instead. Oh my fuck! What did I say before? The people who made this game hate Reimu and hate Marissa.
What was that? You should have been found guilty. Patcho would have to resign as a prosecutor then. I mean, she did a pretty shit job. Maybe make you realize the trouble you put others through all the time, and we would have got our peace and quiet back. Alice! I know you feel, but... I'm dead. But Marissa? You can have it back when I'm dead. I'm not like you. I can't be with you two forever. This is... well, cultural differences? As she told me yesterday, Shin's existence is a solitary one. Might be that, as the sole human magician, Marissa's isolated in her own way. Alice? Marissa, what's with that face? You look ridiculous. What's going on? So, Patchouli, is that enough to satisfy you? Certainly. I think I'd ever see Marissa Kurosami cry. Patchouli! Why are you still here? I'm so sorry, Aya. I'm afraid I was her accomplice. Although, I was roped in by four... You know what this is? Case 2.0. Suika is only the third worst case. The second worst case of that Ray movie. No. Suika is the second worst case. With the stream. What for? Terrorism? Accomplice. After I suddenly turned to a child, I couldn't understand what had happened to me, and then I was arrested. But Patchouli was the first to visit me in that cell to apologize for my false arrest. They literally could have done any fucking other thing, and this would have been the best trial in the entire fucking series. They literally do anything else. At the time, she told me about everything she'd done and everything she still planned to do. I mean, it's like... oh, gosh. And what did you do about it? You promised I'd be found not guilty, so I cooperated. Mercy caused plenty of troubles for me as well. I thought it'd be a lesson for her. Wow. I literally should have finished the trial and then just quit. It would have been much better. This was probably worse than the Reimu trial. Than the Reimu Suiko one. Definitely worse than the... Dude, it was so good! It was so good! Why? Then why'd you have me defend her at all? So I would not learn anything just from being... So I'll teach Marissa a lesson. You know what the one trial that was in common with that? The Suika case. All of it was done to teach Reimu a lesson. Oh wait, you know what also is kind of similar? The very last case, the show one as well. Although that one is a little bit better. Only mildly. I have never agreed with a single thing more than anyone has said in this game, or these games. I don't care what you try. Like, this is a fine plot point. You could have done this any other possible way. Oh, there's a new episode. So this isn't the end of the third one. Great! Oh, fuck. Galdo Station is no more, and so the trial should have come to an end. But then the Yama found a new and eager volunteer to take up the cause of justice. Kai's not going to lose this time. Hey, I'm going to say the words I've said multiple times before. Surely it can't get worse. Hey, Levin, do you know if the two... First of all, if the two spin-offs that come after this... for sure if Asprey has played both of them on stream. And second of all, do either of them include, like, side stories? You know, like those snippets like we had before with, like, the Iku and the Aya Eiki one. Private cases. That's unfortunate. You don't have to check for me at this moment. It's probably going to be like a week and a half or something till I actually would possibly get to this. I mean, I'm going to finish the fourth trial, that's for sure. Like, I'm not gonna just, like, leave it there. I'm gonna do this fourth trial. The spin-offs, I'm not sure about. One of the issues with the two later spin-offs is they do say on the opening that they don't want people to make content on these games. Now, if Asprey has done that, then I'm a little less concerned about it, but I'm still, like, noting of that type of thing. And not gonna lie, I was an hour ago. I was gonna be like, I really want to play through these trials. Nowadays, I'm not. I'm a little hit or miss on whether or not I actually want to do them. We'll see. We'll see how we'll see after the next trial, for sure. Because that put a sour taste in my mouth. Pretty sour taste. But that's gonna be it for now. It's been almost 5 hours. I mean, I'll finish this main game. Whether or not I'll do the rest of the spin-offs for sure, we'll see. But I'm gonna call it for now.